What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Gin's Treasure. Today I was thinking, let's do something pretty fun. And so what I'm gonna do is try something that I've never really done before and catch it live for the first time on camera for you guys. And so I just kind of built the idea in my head. Maybe it was influenced by the stone. So this here is, believe it or not, it's actually a carnelian, which I myself would have trouble believing because I've never seen one in this color before. However, the source that I got it from, I do trust. So, okay, this is a new style of carnelian for me. And what's different from this video right off the start is, as you can tell by the shape of it, it's been specifically cut in this almost hexagonal teardrop shape. And that's unique from my videos because a lot of my videos are about how to work around the odd shaped tumbled crystals, which is clearly not so for this one. But we're gonna keep it fresh, we're gonna keep it original, and we're gonna try something that I've never tried before. So the first thing I'm gonna do is, oh, by the way, so for this wire length, I just kind of eyeballed slightly more than the circumference of this stone. And then for these two, I don't remember exactly how, I just kind of overestimated the amount of wire that I expect to use. Let's see, for this, it's probably about an arm's length. That's my weenus right there. No, wait, my weenus is on the other side. It's the inner elbow. From there to the tip of my finger, more or less. And so what we're gonna start with is kissing the 2 points here and find that top tip or top middle point, and then pinch in the fingers and just create a nice necklace loop. And this one's actually, it got caught on the square part. As you can see, it's not perfectly a circular shape. That's all right. So I like to just double reinforce just for the strength, and also it looks more clean to me. And then from there, this will go in between these two wires, and then I did pull some 24 gauge wire as well, actually a lot. It's about just over my entire wingspan. So from if you picture like this is my head and then my arms going straight out, it's slightly more than that length. And what we're gonna do is, always start with kissing the points, slide all the way until boom, we've got that middle point there. And from there, what we're gonna do, just like I said, just like I promised, is we're gonna wrap all three of these wires. And so I'm gonna hang it just on the other side of that necklace loop. This is a little bit tricky to be holding it like this. It's kind of unnatural to me at this point. Well, maybe if this is a success, then I can get more practice in. All right, so from here, I'm gonna take the flat part of the pliers just to hold as best I can these three 20 gauge wires in place. Nope, I'm not gonna use the pliers. But I'm just gonna kind of carefully hold everything together on one end with one hand so as to free up my other hand. And if you've seen my other videos, then you know that, I'll put this down for a second. Actually, I have this technique for when you're working with really, really long wire to just wrap it around the 4 fingers, and that kind of shortens the length, and then smoosh it. It shortens the length of the wire. So that way it's not in the way. It's not this big long wire strand in the way when you're working. I'm gonna do the same thing to the other side too. And so these curls over time, they will unwind. But for now, that's a good length. So once again, I'm just gonna eyeball. Right there's about the middle, so that's where I'm gonna place the middle of the loop, and then wrap these guys around, and then just kind of with one hand pinch down into place, and then carefully place the short wire in the middle in between the 2 long wires, the 2 long 20 gauge wires, and then slowly and carefully just start wrapping them in all together. By the way, the middle wire totally came out of place, if you saw that. So it's not in between them. And I think that what I'll be able to do is just after I get a few wraps here, then I can tuck it into place, and then with the flat part of the pliers, then I can kind of squeeze it. Yeah, just like that. See? Perfect. All right. And then from there, I'll just continue the wrapping. I'm gonna adjust the camera a little bit. Give myself some more room. Alright, just enough to get me started on one end, and then I'll do the same thing with the flat part of the pliers. Just kind of squeeze or smash it flat, and then I'll flip over to the other side and get the other side started. Very carefully align my wires. So that the middle one is going to be the shortest still. And it looks like it's kind of stubbornly not wanting to go like that, so I'm just gonna not worry about it for now and do the same thing where once I get started with the wraps, then I'll smash it so that it's flattened and aligned in the way that I want. Let's see how it goes. Yeah, kind of just as easy as I expected it would be. So now now that we've got it kind of started on both sides, now is going to be the little plot twist where what I'm going to do is create another loop. Maybe not so big, but just a loop on one of the long wires. And then maybe from there I'll do a wrap, 2 wraps, and then peel that one out so I know that that's the wire that I just looped. Then obviously this is the short wire, and then with the other one in the opposite direction, we're going to do the same thing. Create a little loop. And the loop does not have to be perfectly circular because we're actually not going to be using it for a circular shaped loop anyway. So then it will look like that. And then from there, we kind of realign those 3 20 gauge wires, and then do some more wraps. Not too tight, because we don't want to create this like triple barrel. We want to have 3 flat, like that. And so here, I'll give you a little example of what it's going to look like. So the idea, right, so the necklace will hang from the top there, and then this will clamp down on this side, and then this one will clamp down on that side. That's the idea. So we're gonna do the same thing over on the other end as well. So actually maybe I wanna keep these a little bit symmetrically spaced since the stone itself is looking pretty symmetrically designed or cut, shaped. Looks about right. And we'll flatten it. And then with our long wires, peel one out, loop it. Them twice, I think it was, and then flip it upside down, loop the other side, boom, and then continue to wrap. And as you can see, it kind of wants to naturally fold over. So we're just gonna knock that off by pinching it down and flattening it. Although I might have wrapped it a little bit too tight, so that's why it doesn't want to flatten out for me. That'll be all right. All right, and then from here, we just want to test the length of where we're at. So I can see I could do a little bit more on each side. So I'm gonna be careful. This is another thing to be mindful of if you do the if you wrap it around your fingers to shorten it. Be mindful of these. Every now and then a snag could happen, and you want to avoid those getting too tight, because then it will just cut the wire right there. So right about there is where I want to do my next loops on the sides. Alright, got the first loop. We'll do 2 wraps. Try to keep that flat as best we can, and then flip it over. Get 2 loops on the other side. Keep it flat as best we can. Together. And we'll take our pliers and flatten that. Okay, we'll flip over to the other side. And it's the same thing. We're gonna need to do a few more wraps to get the length right. Yeah, just a few more. That should be good. Let's see. Yeah. I'm gonna do just 3 more. 1, 2, 3. Flatten that. And then do my loops. One loop. 2 wraps. Peel it out and then do the other loop. Gotta get them back aligned. And then do the wraps. Maybe here would be a good place to clamp down on the pliers. See how I've got like a firm grip on the pliers and keeping all 3 of these wires flat. That's what I want. Perfect. We'll go a few more. I like it better with the grip. The pliers grip. Works nicely. Okay. So from here, I'm ready to start folding into the framework, the shape of the stone. Maybe I did that a little early. I'll fold it a little bit actually. And because what I've done so far is a loop for this side, a loop for this side, and when I'll do one more here and the same thing here. So I've got 1, 2, and then I'll do one more for the bottom, and then obviously same with the back side. So I've got a little bit more weaving and wrapping to do. So as you can see, that's the end of that middle wire. It's okay. I maybe could have done some creative style finish with it, but maybe next time. I'll do the same thing with the other side. And I gotta go backwards because you can see how that one's kind of wonky. Need to be tighter. I'm gonna stop the camera here just because I can see I'm already at approaching like 30 minutes of recording time, and since I do record this on my phone, there's just a limited capacity. So what I'm gonna do is stop here, upload everything onto the laptop, and then continue. So I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. And with that, let's get back into it. So I'm just gonna continue to do the wrapping here. Actually, check to see where we're at. Actually, I'm gonna undo a little bit on this side because I did a little bit too much. Probably on the other side too, just by judging the look of it. And then from here, I'm gonna do a third and final loop. Got a loop on one side. And then we'll do 2 wraps. And then 2 loops on the other side. Kind of works better if you use the pliers. I mean, it does in general, but not for the sake of holding the camera, put it that way. Or not holding the camera, but to get the camera's view right. All right. And then from there, looks like we're getting back on track. I'm just gonna go ahead and weave till that middle one is gone and disappeared, wrapped into the abyss. And it's gone. Same thing, we're gonna check on this side. Yep, just as I suspected. Needs to get unwrapped a little bit. I think from there it'll be good. So we'll pinch it down, do a loop. Get the 2 wraps in. And then 1 loop on the other side. Boom. Straighten up those 2 wires. And we'll just wrap them together. Get the pliers flat part to hold it down. And then we'll just finish the wrapping. Look at it from there and see where we're at. So it should be coming together now, both figuratively and literally. Kind of doing the framework. So you can see how I've pressed these ones in so they're not flat like this one. They're kind of holding it, more or less holding it into place. Get these wires kind of bent outward so that I can fit them in. All right, it's looking pretty good. I might just unwrap these a little bit because I don't need that much length. And then what I'll do instead is I'm gonna take all 4 of these 20 gauge wires together and then wrap that one 24 gauge around all 4 of them. Just kind of a light wrap, nothing too tight, just kind of as a placeholder. And then from there, we're gonna wedge our crystal inside, continue the framework. And it's actually, I don't know, I think it'll be all right. So kind of just creatively, I just thought of an idea, something I want to do. Should I do it? Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is take these loops and take this 24 gauge wire and pass it through the loop, starting with that bottom one. And then pass it through the next one. And so if you look carefully, you can see that what I did is I passed it through this one at one angle, and then instead of weaving over the top, I just kept it at that same, so it passes on the backs, it passes through on this end, and then it comes out on that end, and then for the next one, same thing, or the opposite, so it passes through on this end and then comes around over the top, and it will be coming through the next one, the same thing, around over the top, like that. Right? So now that it comes out the bottom, for this one, it will come out the bottom. Now that it's come out the top, it's going to go in on the top. And now that it's come out the bottom, guess what? It's going to come in through the bottom. From there, I'm just gonna take it around this side and then just wrap around, and I might just end up doing it one more time. But for the back side, I'm gonna take the other 24 gauge wire. Pass it through the top, and just for fun, I think what I'm gonna do is, actually not just for fun, I think I just like this style better, is do the opposite. So it weaves under the bottom and then over the top, and then through the hole under the bottom, and then for the next one it's gonna come in over the top and come out under the bottom. And then for the next one, over the top, coming out under the bottom. And then for the next one, you guessed it, coming in over the top and coming out under the bottom. The final one is going to be the same thing, coming in over the top, coming out under the bottom. So the question is, I guess the question and the answer is, do I do it again? And the answer is yes. How do I want to do it though? That's the question. I guess so I'll go around the bottom once again twice, and then just go weave in again. difficult is this one? Oh, not that difficult. Then once I'm done, I'm gonna do the same thing, just weave it around twice. Okay. I think there's other options we could have explored, but I'm okay with that one for first time trial. And we'll just, flip it around, do the same thing on the other side. All right. So what I did after I finished both sides, weaving through twice, is I took one of the wires and wrapped it around and around and around, and then tucked it in. And now the question remains, what do we do for the finish? I like to do the curly spirals, so I'm gonna give a little shortening of the length I'll say even more shortening of these ones. And with those two really short ones, I'm just gonna curl them. Just like that. And then with the other two, I'm gonna curl them the opposite direction. So they curl inwards, or spiral inwards. Just like that. And then finally, just with that last wire. This one is curled. I think I want to curl it just a little bit more. Maybe even flatten it. And then I'm just gonna wrap it around. And around and around and around. And with that last little tip, just gonna tuck it in. And voila.